So I want to welcome Seretha Prather, who is the National Director with Pure Romance, to the show.
Seretha.
Hello, Joyce. Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm getting over a cold, so if I start coughing or anything, just look over me.
We'll say bless you. Now, let me give you a little bit more about her. She has been in the direct sale industry since February 2004 and absolutely loves what she does. She originally started her business after the death of her mother. She had been her caregiver for 13 years, and after her mother's death, Seretha felt that she needed something to get her out of the humdrum of life. Now, that is a way.
Okay.
If you gonna
go all the way.
And little did I really know what I was getting into, but I tell you what, it was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I mean, but what made you, and I understand you went from an emotional standpoint, but what made you, out of so many other things that you possibly could have chosen to do, what made you want to start selling?
Doing this. Let me tell you, prior to my mother dying, I heard an advertisement on the radio, and that had been like a year or so ago. And so when my mom died, probably 2 days later, I was laying in the bed. It was the middle of the night, and I was just thinking about my life. My kids had all grown up. You know, I was just in that same old routine, coming home, taking care of her, doing nothing. So in the middle of the night, something said to me, and I tell you, something said, sell sex. And I thought to myself, sell sex? What are you saying? You know, what does this mean? You know. So right after my mother died, I started going online, and I looked at some of the in-home party plans. And so I came across one, and I said, I'm going to do this. And I actually took my car payment money and bought my kit. Mm-hmm. So I had to make it happen, because if I didn't, I was going to lose my car, and then I was going to have to explain to people that I lost my car because I couldn't sell sex, you know? So anyway, I got my kit, and it scared the living daylight out of me. So that stuff that was in that kit I had never seen before. One of my kids was in college. She came home for the weekend, and I said, you got to help me with this. And she actually made me some little cliff notes. So I had my first party, and some of the people at the party had to help me out because I didn't know, you know. I was like, this is, and I was trying to read the label. And finally, after that party, I think I cleared about $378. And I said, oh, my God, this is why I need to sell sex. So it was just a fluke. I don't know what made me do it, because one of my friends, she did Mary Kay, and she said, you can do this. And I said, I want to sell sex.
And so,
I don't know.
Like you said, you started in 2004, and that is, what, 9 years?
9 years ago.
9
February
years.
was my 9-year anniversary.
So
and this is all I do.
So as the industry, I remember one time when I was on the radio, and I worked with another Pure Romance distributor. And I mean, we used to have parties after parties after parties. Is it still like that now?
Oh, it's bigger and it's better, Joyce. I tell you, it is bigger and it's better. You know, when we went through this recession, you know, a lot of us got really nervous because we were saying, you know, I don't know, people don't have any money, they've lost their jobs. But this is the thing that I figured out. Even with the recession, even with people losing their jobs and stuff like that, what they understand is in relationships, sometimes that's the one thing that can keep things going. You know, men are really, really funny. You know, men like to have money in their pocket. They like to be able to pay those bills, whereas we can actually have a $20 bill stuck behind our driver's license, and we can make it all week long. So, you know, it's one thing when you don't have money, and then this man, you know, that you're involved with or that you're married with, he doesn't have any money. He's all frustrated. You know, he wants to have a lot of sex, you know, and you're looking at him like, oh, my God, every day, because he's stressed out. And so what happens is that women were starting to come to parties, and they were saying, you know what, if I take $50, if I take $100 and buy some little stuff to have fun with, that can keep him, you know, at ease. He'll feel a little bit better. I'll be happier. So the whole household will be happier. So, yeah, it's bigger and better. It is bigger and better. I mean, I get calls every day from people just wanting to order products, from people who want to host parties. yeah, the industry is a big thing.
Now, is this, and you just spoke about, how a married couple might utilize the services. So what is the percentage? Is it the percentage bigger with married couples or married women or single women? Who does the most calling?
You know what? I'm thinking, and I've never really thought about it like, who buys the most. But I'm telling you, I'm thinking it might be like 45% married couples, and the other 55%, if that adds up to 100%, single women. I mean, but it's big. A lot of women, a lot of married couples come in because they realize and they understand how important it is to keep that romance, that fire sizzling, and so they come in and they try to do it. Single women have gotten to a mindset now where sometimes, it's okay to be, it's okay to be alone, but, to satisfy those needs, I have to get something else, and this is a much safer way of, satisfying those needs. So, it kind of works out equally. I have a lot of single clients as well as a lot of, married clients.
And this is just strictly women, or is it sometimes accompanied by men? I mean, how do
we actually our company is for women only, so we only do parties for women. So most of the time what happens is when say if a couple, a woman is married, what she'll do is she'll either go on my website with her, with her partner, or even people who aren't married, but they'll go on the website with the partners, and when they come to the parties, they actually have a list. They have a wish list, and that list includes stuff that he's asked for. I just had a party this past Saturday night, and so when I got there, of course the boyfriend left, and he came home right as the party was ending. I was loading up, so he said, "What'd you get?" And so she said, "I got this, I got this, I got that." He said, "No, wait a minute, hold up, can you wait a minute, because I got a couple more things." So he actually went through that catalog, and so her order went from being like $125 to about $300 from the stuff that he wanted to add into the order.
And made their relationship even that much more.
Oh my God, girl! Let me tell you, I carry. My truck is loaded, honey. By the time he finished his order, he carried everything to my truck, and he put everything in the truck. I was like, "Well, thank you, sir, for putting me out, but I do understand." So he was helping me load that truck so fast. He's like, "Okay, do we have everything?" I mean, it was so funny, and that happens a lot because once they get their goodies, they want you out of their house.
It's time to get busy. It's time. Now tell me, what are some of the hot sellers that women need strictly for themselves? And just like the gentleman that you talked about, he also needed to add to the collection. What are some of those hot sellers?
Well, of course, we have several different lubricants, and those are hot sellers. A lot of people don't realize how important lubricants are. I have so many women who come to my parties, and as soon as I start talking about lubricants, the first thing they'll say is, "Girl, I stay wet. I don't need any lubricants." But the fact is 85% of the women now are using lubricants because you think about it. With that, the lubrication makes things a little bit more easier to enter, nice slip and slide. And plus, it keeps the vagina healthy. So women are realizing it. Also, we have 4 enhancement creams, which are absolutely the bomb. These are creams that you use for just to kind of make you want to have sex. A lot of us are out working, and we have kids, and we're going to school, and we're doing all kind of stuff. And by the time you get home, the last thing you want to do is to look at somebody and, think about, "Oh, my God, we got to have sex." So we actually have products that will increase your desires, help you have bigger and better orgasms. These products are for women and men with low libidos or low sex drives, and this is, due to medications, just lifestyle. So a lot of those are some of the most, really popular products. And, of course, our bedroom accessories, which are our toys. We have vibrators. We also have a nice line of couple toys, and these are toys that, you can use with your partners. One of our We have a whole line of vibrators, and this is in our platinum collections. So these are the vibrators that I tell women sometimes you need to step away from the coach lady. And I'm not, taking anything from the coach lady. I'm not the coach lady, the pocketbook lady. Sometimes you actually need to buy you a real purse. And so we have the platinum line, which these are higher priced toys, but they're ones that you don't have to worry about using batteries. And when I tell you, they make some things happen that you never would experience. So, we just a lot of different items, and you'd be surprised. Sometimes, people walk through the door, and I think to myself, oh, I can pretty much figure out what she's going to get, but I'm always surprised.
Now, when you talk about, what it does for a couple's sensuality and sexuality, do you also talk about, the health of it as well?
Yes, we do. Now, one thing about Pure Romance, the founder of the company is very, very big into women's sexual health. So we have products that are geared to women who've gone through breast cancer treatments, who've had cervical cancers, just bringing the sexy back. So we have products that are specifically for those women. We also have products even for men that, say for an example, if he just does not last as long as he needs to be because of medications or whatever. So we have things that he can actually put on. And, of course, some of the couple toys that we have will help with that as well. So, yeah, we discuss, people that, like I said, that have had, cervical cancer, breast cancer. And we also carry like a small line of beauty products. And this is not to replace, our favorites, Mary Kay or MAC or anything like this. These are products for women who just need to, say, for an example, one who's going to, have breast cancer treatments. And, after having radiation or chemo, your skin gets really dry. Your lips are really cracked. You're very pale. So we have those types of products that plump up the lips, give you we have like a bronzer that gives your skin a nice, healthy glow, just to make you feel good about yourself. And, of course, after going through all of that, and you start looking in the mirror and you start seeing yourself looking a little brighter, a little healthier, then you feel a little bit more sexier. So then we can flip the page and go to some of the other items.
Now, when it comes to the products and the purchasing of the products, do you find that more women want it to be in a more private setting than in a more public setting?
You know what? It really surprised me. I guess for me, because I do in-home parties, most of the time it's going to be a woman who's opened up her house to her, some of her very, very best friends. So a lot of times, just because of that setting, they're very, very open. Now, one of the things that we do is we offer a private ordering area, and that I think a lot of people appreciate that, because you never know what somebody's sexual lifestyle is. You'd be surprised at some of the things that people will come in. Well, like I said before, sometimes, people walk in and you look at them and you're thinking, oh, I pretty much got her. And she comes in and she starts, rattling off the things that she want to order. And you're like, oh, my God, I never would have seen that. So they do appreciate the privacy. Because sometimes, people get really sensitive. I just had a lady who told me, she said, I'm a school teacher. She said, I'm a school teacher, and I tell you, we just got to have this privacy. And I laughed at her. I told her, oh, my God, school teachers and nurses, y'all are like off the chain at the party. She's never been to a party before. But she just assumed, because she was a school teacher and all her friends were a school teacher, I guess, well, we just have to have, a certain amount of privacy and confidentiality, which, all of that is offered. But I think people appreciate having the option of, being able to come into a private ordering area. Sometimes they want to bring their friends. Come on. Oh, she know everything I do. Well, you know what? I think she'll actually appreciate being able to sit here and just choose the items that she wants rather than having to be influenced by her, her friend.
So we're going to have a secret closet at Passion and Poetry.
Yes, yes.
So clips you won't show, There will be a secret.
Away from the closet.
and Clips has been honest and open. Are you, as a man, okay with your woman utilizing products from Pure Romance or any type of adult product?
I have no problem with it. Just let me watch.
Listen, Cliff, I just heard what you said just a moment ago about getting those kids fed and bathed and the whole 9 yards. So you're absolutely right. You shouldn't have any problem with it, and it makes me feel good that you say you don't, but you need to make sure you visit that closet, because you know what? When she gets home after working those 9 hours, then the one thing you might want to do is to make sure you give her a nice bath and then give her a nice massage. You know, we'll have all of those products that she'll appreciate it, and probably 9 times out of 10 she'll turn around and do the same favor for you.
Yeah, I mean I've been in similar situations as well. When I was on the radio, I used to get a lot of products from Pure Romance, as well as what's the other one? The
slumber
one that,
parties.
The slumber parties, and then the one that have the stores out and about. Starship Enterprises. I used to get
shit regular.
I used to get all of that stuff, and the cool thing was I didn't have to bring it in the house and go stick it in the closet. I mean,
exactly.
I because my son know not to come in my bedroom. Period. But I would bring them in the house, and I'd be like, "Look, Jay." Look.
And you start grinning.
And be grinning and going on. And I mean, it made for some good times. But
it does make for good times. And you know what? I have so many men, their wives will have come to the parties. So they come home and they get used to seeing that nice pink bag or that nice black bag. I've had so many men call me after the party and after they've had fun. And I had one man in particular. He and his wife were contemplating getting a divorce. She came home with like $300 and some odd worth of products. He called me the next day to thank me, and then he said, "Seretha, she had $350 worth of. She had $350 with her. Why didn't you get that last $50 bill?" You know, he was just like, "Oh, this stuff is amazing." So you're absolutely right. The men love it. They love it.
And I have experienced that as well. We're having Pure Romance at Passion and Poetry on Saturday, because that's one of the things that Passion and Poetry was. I think as a culture of people, we weren't told to express ourselves sensuously and sexually, and it made us, you know, be a little bit, you know, held in and closeted about a lot of things. And I think over the years with stores and opportunities like this, it has helped us to have a sense of freedom, you know, when it comes to our sensuality and our sexuality. Do you think it has changed over the years from whence we grew up?
Oh my God, yes. Yes, it has. It has changed so much.
It was just so taboo.
Oh my God, yes it was. And it also has changed. I've seen a big change in the last 9 years. But oh my God, Joyce, since we grew up, whew, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Some of the things that, you know, we heard and some of the things that we were told. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what are some of the reasons that when you first got started, what are some of the reasons that you would hear that people would say, "I can't do this because"?
Okay. One of the things that people would say, and from time to time they still say it, if they've never been to one of my shows, they'll say, "Well, you know, I don't want to use one of those vibrators because it's going to make me never want to have a man." So I have to explain to them that that is not the case. Sometimes I hear
they would think that a vibrator
is going to take away the desire for a man
from the real meal deal.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Another thing is, well, you know, my husband, he just tells me all the time, "You don't need a vibrator, you got me," and this and that and the other. So I have to always tell them that men are very, very visual creatures. And so one of the things that they can do is they take home, and we have several products that I recommend just for what I say, introducing into your bedroom. Take that home and you start using it. And I tell them, you'll be surprised. You'll go home one day, you get ready to get in the bed, you pull your covers back, and that vibrator's laying in that bed. Because he's put it there. They enjoy it. But a lot of people say, no, he doesn't want, he tells me he doesn't want me to use it. Well, he just tells you that because that's what he heard a long, long time ago. He has some stuff going on in his head. But once you take it into the bedroom, once you introduce it into the bedroom, once you start to use it on him, have him use it on you, oh my gosh, he'll have you calling back to say, you know what, it's time for us to upgrade. Another thing, of course, is that some women just feel like, I just gotta have a man. I gotta have somebody to be with. I gotta have somebody to, have sex with. But then sometimes, when we're in the boarding room, and I kind of break it down to, you know what, you have this guy that comes around, 2 or 3 times a month, and you have sex. But every time you have sex with him, you get up and you're like, I'm never gonna have sex with him again, because you're not really satisfied. He comes, for the lack of a better term, all you are is a booty call. So you're not fulfilled, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't do you any good, then you just might need a vibrator. So, I hear so many different things, but the main one is just that desire of having a man. It's going to make me numb. I'm not going to ever want to have a man again.
It's going to make me numb.
It's going to make me numb. I'm not going to. I've heard that.
Now
so
tell me something, and we're gonna dip into religion just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find the hesitancy in women who are professing to be more Christian-like, or who?
You know what? It really depends on the woman. Sometimes you will have women who are professing to be more Christian-like, and they'll come in and they'll be real, they step around really, really easy. But, in the shows, I talk about, just having sex and, relationships. And sometimes I think what happens, it kind of clicks in. Like if I'm actually having sex with this man and I'm not married to him, what's the difference if that's what you're saying? If you're saying that, using this vibrator is a sin, then what's the greater sin? Having sex with some man that you're not married to, or, doing something to please yourself in the comfort of your own home. Also, one of the things that's really big, and when this happened to me the first time, I was just totally amazed. I had a lady actually book a party, and when I got there, when I walked in her house, everything was Jesus. Her table was the 10 Commandments. Just everything around was Jesus. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa, okay, I'm retracking my show in my head. I'm like, okay, Seretha, you cool, you good. And so what I didn't know is that this woman moved her Bible study from a Wednesday night to a Friday night, and they were having a party.
Mm-hmm.
Well, $3,000 later, because her party sales was about $3,000, she told me, she said, this is my Bible study group. And I said, are you kidding me? And what she broke it down. She just, from a biblical perspective about, what a man and a woman should do, and talking about pleasing her husband and whatever. And I was like, oh, it was amazing. So she in turn referred me to another Bible study group at another church. And then I got a referral for a women ministry group. So I have like women ministers that actually have parties. And all of these people have parties about twice a year.
Mm.
Yeah.
Take care of that. I got a couple of comments. One comment is, I've heard females say, if he's tripping, they go get their friend. Do you hear that? As a replacement.
You know what? I have heard it, and I personally try to discourage them from doing that, because the one thing you don't want to do is bring that as a part of problems in your relationship.
Right.
If he's tripping, what I always tell women is always make him feel comfortable with the vibrator. So, there are certain ways that you can use them to make him feel really good. But I guess if he's tripping really, really hard, maybe when he goes to work, you might bring your friend out. But you don't bring it out like, woo, I don't have to have you because I got this, because that causes other problems. But I've heard women say that.
I got a comment here, and it sort of kind of raised my eyebrow. It says, it's the sexual feeling that rises. I feel like if a woman herself is doing herself with a toy, then she can let a girl do her. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I guess what I would say is if she wanted to have a girl do her, then she'd let the girl do her. I don't think that a toy is going to, all of a sudden make a woman have the desire to have a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hear sometimes that, I hear women say sometimes that, when we start talking about anal sex, well, I just think that if he wants to, do it to me back there, then that means he'll want to do it to a man. So that's kind of the same premise, you know what I'm saying? So, I just think that if a woman wants to be a woman, she's going to be with a woman. If a man wants to be with a man, just because you have an anal sex doesn't necessarily mean that he wants to be with a man. It's just another way, of having sex.
She says, see, the stuff opens too many perverted encounters. Stay with the natural. I disagree.
Yeah.
Boring.
I disagree. I think there are times in even a married person's or a non-married person's life to where a personal moment is yours, and it has nothing to do with whether, if you are married, whether your husband isn't performing to the levels in which you want, or if you're single, you aren't having the sexual encounters that you want. It has nothing to do with you. It's going to lead you to doing other unnatural things.
Exactly.
And she goes on to say that I think it's for married folks, of course. I don't think so. I just don't. I was looking at the doctors last week, and I think Candy Burrs was on there because she promotes products, and the other there were three other doctors, including the one that is there all the time, and they were talking about the importance of keeping yourself stimulated, whether it's with a partner or with yourself, that as a woman, and they were talking about women, they were talking about that, and these were doctors, these were gynecologists and all this, they were talking about how important it was to keep yourself stimulated, and they utilize Candy and why she chose to go into the adult toy business and how important that it was. And I think it's such a misconception with a lot of people.
Exactly right.
She goes on to say that so thankful we all have options, and we do. It's an option, and it's a personal choice. I mean,
exactly.
Having this conversation today, it might be appealing to some, and it might not be appealing to some. But for those that it is appealing to, why shouldn't it be known that there is something out there for you? Exactly. Just because it might not be appealing to someone else, well, then that person keep on doing what you're doing, and keep on living the life that you're living. This isn't a persuasion. This is just an education. That's all that is.
It truly is an education.
And it's a choice, because I'm sure at any party over the last 9 years, there have been some people that have walked out with hands empty, just like they came in. But then there were some who walked out with bags, So it was for whomever see it as something that is needed for them.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
So come Saturday, Pure Romance will be there at Passion and Poetry, because we'll be there. And also, Joyce, I'd like to offer any of your listeners, can you talk today, discount for today only. And what I'll do when we end this call, I'll send you my website address so they can view the catalog, but they'd have to call me personally. 25% off anything that they order today. Well, I'll definitely push that out there. And you send the information, I'll definitely send it out. And then they'll get a chance to meet you personally on Saturday. But thank you so much for calling, and we look forward to hanging out with you on Saturday. And for those of you who are not scared,
tell them to come to the secret closet We are going to have all of the products out, so they'll be able to touch and taste and smell the products. They'll also be able to purchase products if they want to, because we'll have a full stock of products there. Answer any questions, and also talk to people about the opportunity of starting their own pure romance business. It's a very lucrative business. So.
I hear the lucrativeness of it, but is it hard to jumpstart? Because
it is not. What happens is this: when you initially start, I always tell women to just talk to your best friends. Talk to your relatives and have them to book a party. So what'll happen is they'll book a party. Say you book a party with your cousin. She has 15 people there. Out of those 15 people, you're going to get 2 to 3 parties. So once you do that first party, you get 2 or 3 parties. You go and you do those 2 or 3 parties. Then you're bumping up and doing 2 and 3 parties. And before you know it, you have a full calendar. And, it's great because you can travel. I do parties from Florida to D.C., so, you can travel and use it as vacations and still make money. It is a great business, and for anybody who needs to make a little extra money, for anybody who's in between jobs, for anybody who, was like me, just need to get out the house. It's a really good business, but we'll have information there about that as well.
Give me your information right now.
Okay.
And then go ahead.
Okay, my website is Seretha Prather .pureromance.com.
Okay.
And then my phone number is 770-364-1064. So what they can do is they can go to the website, and if whatever they see that they want, they can call me directly to place the order, because they'll need to order directly through me in order to get the 25% discount.
All right, send that information to me again through my email, and I'll definitely put it out there once again so they can take advantage of the discounts that you are offering
tonight. 25% off anything.
Okay, cool.
You
might see my name.
Oh, that's okay.
Thanks again. We'll see Seretha Prather with Pure Romance on Saturday at Passion and Poetry. That's going down this Saturday. One show, 8 o'clock at Center Stage. Doors open at 7. Tickets are available through Ticketmaster.com, or you can log on to my Littel website at LittelConceptsLLC.com and get the other ticket outlets. You might want to go that route because the service charges are not there if you go that route. Or you can call us 678-459-4169. That's 678-459-4169. Now, we're going to end with this song from TGT. That's Tank, Genuine, Tyrese. They formed the group TGT. Sex ain't never felt better. What a way to end.